All right,
Cool.
so I'm recording. Today is September 27th. It is 11 a.m. It is the professional trader, and today I am here with Kailash. So, Kailash is also doing a FTMO 10k account, and he's just going to be sharing his thoughts, his ideas, and how the way he sees things in the Forex market. So, Kailash, just introduce yourself. If you want, you can talk a little about yourself, how you got into trading, and then from there, just give us your takes on the Forex market slash indices.
Sure. Yeah. Like I've been watching the market for a few years, but ever since last year, I've just been watching it every single day and getting really active. And I'll say one thing, like it's purely a mindset. A lot of it's really the mindset. Like once you kind of like learn the basics, you kind of like you can always learn more, but you can
Yeah,
always,
for sure.
it's just the mindset is a huge thing. That's all I
Yeah,
can say. But
yeah. Like
yeah.
reading a chart is not the hardest thing in the world, but mentally
Yeah.
preparing yourself for what you're gonna do when what you want to happen, when what you want to happen actually happens, to me it's harder than like, okay, is this an uptrend or a downtrend?
Yeah. And especially in the moment. Like in the moment, it's like we're only
Yeah.
humans. We only have like
Hmm.
2 ears, two
Yep.
eyes, right? Yep.
Yep.
So like these markets are interesting. Like I'm watching the equities, like they're going lower, but they're not as bad as they were like a couple days ago, but still going lower. And the dollar is going up,
Hmm.
the yields, right? It's the whole interest rate. The interest rates are going up, dollars going up a lot too. So that's the big, and you've been covering it like you've been good. Like you've been like objectively saying like the dollar is going up because that's what it's doing.
Yeah.
And
Could
that's
you
my main
explain
focus. Yeah, yeah.
Could you explain that 10-year yields a little bit? Because I've heard of it, but it's not
Yeah.
something I actively watch. So could you explain that a little bit?
It's really interesting because like I like the idea of like just look at the chart. People always say just look at the chart. Don't listen to everybody saying why this, why that, this story, that story. But the fact is it's going up, right? And the main focus is people are saying like, well, inflation is the problem, so the yields are going up.
Okay.
And basically what I see like it's there's bonds and the value of the bonds are going down and the yields are going up. So it's essentially yields are making new highs. I don't know if you can see my screen.
Yeah, I can. I can.
Okay. I had like a four chart. I kind of lost it. But like here it is. Yeah. So on the top right, like the dollar is making a new high. But on the
Hmm.
bottom right, these are yields. And if you look at the chart, I should do weekly on the dollar and weekly on the yields on the right side of the screen. They've kind of been both going up together.
Okay.
And you see
And it,
gold is going
is this
down.
something that you is this something that you notice usually moves opposite from each other?
Yeah, like I think a lot of people they talk about how the gold and the dollar, right? I think you've
Okay,
covered
yeah,
that
the
too,
golden,
right?
yeah, yeah.
And you can really see like, yeah, but let's see. Yeah, like you can see on the like gold has been making new lows or it's been moving down and yields and
Hmm.
dollar have been moving up. So
Hmm.
that's the biggest thing. And I know there is a relationship between the JPY and the 10-year yield, but
Okay.
the biggest thing though is just the fact that when it made new highs, that's when things started to change right there. That white line,
Hmm. Yeah.
4.33, things really started to accelerate when like the new highs were made. And on the dollar, right, those new highs compared to before.
Yeah.
But with the Forex market, I mostly just watch the dollar because I do mostly trade like equities, like the futures.
Okay.
So knowing that the dollar is like going up, that usually is like people call like a headwind, right? Like it slows down like stocks going up, oil's actually just been going up, whatever. But gold, yeah.
So where do you see the dollar going in the presumable future, and how do you plan on, like, what do you see yourself looking at or taking trades on, like, with the bullishness at the moment? Or do you
Oh
see it
yeah.
slowing down? Because I see you have a level drawn up and it's kind of
Yeah.
at that level at the moment.
It's funny. It happened, it got there so quickly, right? Like I was
Yeah.
expecting it to take maybe like a couple weeks even like to get up there and it's
Yeah.
just blasting through
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But in 2022, right? We had the dollar was just I don't know, were you watching like in 2022 probably, right? like
Yeah,
the
I was.
markets.
I remember
Wasn't the
the
dollar just blasting up? Like,
yeah, I remember
yo,
it hitting all-time highs. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. And I'll just say like long term, it's really bullish. And I don't want it. My bias, like I would prefer it not to be like that. But
yeah,
I mean, we can kind of see like it's it's literally like retesting like the what's it called? The resistance, right? It's pretty much turning into support. I
mhm,
don't know if you can see that, right? Like the dotted line basically.
yeah,
So I mean that's a higher low right there. And it's already set. And the 3 month chart maybe a little bit more clearer. Now, I'll be honest, like, or I'll just say, like, my opinion, I think in my, what I'm looking for is lower highs. From the
okay,
2022 high, I'm looking for the dollar to put in a lower high compared to that high, but I'm not like putting my money on it right now, or I'm just watching out for that as a possibility. But I draw these lines because it's like sort of like a market structure thing where I've watched a guy and he basically says the market can only do two things. It can either trend or it can balance. So
yeah,
my style, I mark up the balance areas where price spends a significant amount of time sideways, and
mhm,
then I mark up where most of the volume was traded. So essentially, like once we got over that level recently, we weren't able to get below it. And I'm definitely not an expert in this, but this is how I watch the market. And essentially, we're testing this area when the dollar was bearish. And I mean, what I see here though is I just see a short squeeze. And I've learned from trying to fade short squeezes that, like trying to sell short squeezes, like you don't want to get in front of it. And I've learned that the hard way many times. So essentially,
yeah,
yeah, like hands away from the
mhm,
screen,
yeah,
trying my hardest.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've most definitely been there trying to sell it or buy it as soon as it hits that like level of resistance or support.
Hmm.
Works out sometimes, doesn't work out a
Yeah.
lot of times, but
Hmm.
it's trading. I mean, it's a trading style. Some people do it, but personally, not for me though.
Yeah.
So,
Do you
are
ever
you
have any like, do you sometimes have any bias? Do you ever like fall a victim to like thinking like, oh, the dollar is it's gone up enough. It should go down. Do you ever think that?
so in the way I am, no, I am now, no.
That's
Before,
good.
yes, because it's like, wow, like this thing is just it's been going because you pointed it out on the weekly. It's like the DXY has been bullish for 10 straight weeks. So it's like, all right,
Yeah.
this
Yep.
thing's gotta like start being bearish at some point, right? But I don't let that I don't let my opinions try to affect me anymore. I might have a theory on something or a perspective on something for the week, but if that doesn't happen, then that doesn't happen. But I'm not gonna be like the dollar is about to go bearish now because it hasn't
Yeah.
given me any reason to think that it has. But kind of like what you said, I would be looking for it to break. So you kind of see on that weekly candle, I'd be looking for it to break below that last week's weekly candle
Yeah.
that wick before I ever just said that, the
That's good.
dollars maybe, yeah. So like until that last week's wick got broken and we started to just see some more momentum to the downside, I would just more as every time the dollar fell, I'd be looking to buy it, until it started making lower lows. So I try
The
not to, but
sellers,
like,
yeah.
yeah, it's you got to remind yourself though all the time like you are not what you think in the markets, not at all, like just
Yeah.
because like I drew up a level and it didn't do it doesn't mean I'm right, or I mean just because it did do it doesn't mean I'm right, just because it didn't do it doesn't mean I'm not right. So risk management for sure. But
Absolutely. And I like the tool that you use, right? The risk management tool, like the long short
mm,
tool. That's
yeah,
perfect. Like,
yeah, for sure. Oh yeah,
yeah,
that is probably the best thing that you could use for sure. But are you looking at anything to trade at the moment? Are any setups
blow up at
happening for
all.
you? No, no, no.
What's that?
Are you looking at any setups? Are you watching anything like other than the dollar to potentially trade?
So I'm mainly just watching the stocks. Now, gold is
Okay.
interesting. And what I like, there's a pattern. There's like a stair step pattern, right? Where
Okay.
each candle, and other people call it like one time framing. So like gold, I'll show you here, like each hourly candle is lower and lower and lower than the previous.
Yeah.
So there is a potential trade setup here where you can just keep watching it go further and further down. And the moment that you break that previous high, because it's just lower and lower, the moment you break the previous high, you basically just go long, set your stop right under the low. Like let's imagine that this is the low and price breaks above that. It's a simple trade setup. So that's one potential thing I'm seeing. Now, gold is like been selling off really hard. It's just anybody who bought up here, it's just they're suffering. Like it's kind of like the stocks trade. I am watching stocks. I have these daily levels marked up. I'm just looking for a bounce to lower highs. And
Okay.
stocks have been really bearish. I think when you zoom out, though, when you zoom out on stocks,
This is
they're
the
still
Nasdaq you're
bullish.
looking at, right?
Yes, yeah, this is the
Okay.
NASDAQ.
Okay.
So far, it's still bullish. I mean, bulls should be looking for this, not right now at the moment, but it's a dip is basically here. Anybody who wanted to buy on the way up and they were saying it's running away from me, well, here's your
Mm-hmm.
dip. Here's you
Mm-hmm.
can buy. So
Mm-hmm.
I am patiently waiting for like price to at least have like a relief, like a little bit of a relief bounce. And what
Mm-hmm.
I do is every single day I mark up the session, so like the whole day, and I look at the
Okay.
volume and I just ask myself, is value moving higher or is value moving lower? And if you look at the volume on every single day, consistently, it's been moving lower. Now,
Yeah.
yeah, here it was a little bit higher, but the point is like I only want to be a buyer when value is moving higher day after day.
I see.
So
Yeah.
those just rules that I set up for myself.
That's a pretty nice tool.
Oh
Is
yeah.
that a indicator that you got
Yeah,
from
I
the
heard so it's
so
part of the trading view. Like it's part of trading views
okay.
indicators like the ones that they make. It's called
Yeah.
I believe it's SVP, session volume profile,
Okay.
right?
That's
Like it's
pretty
not
cool how
made
it
by
breaks
anybody.
down. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're doing that on the daily chart or what time frame are you doing
So
this
it's
on?
the 30-minute chart and
Okay.
I use the regular trading hours because the futures they trade overnight and these like the SPY that ETF
Mm-hmm.
they trade like pre-market, post-market. So I try to get a like avoid those because most of the volume happens between 9:30 to 4.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't work on Forex, but I do like I showed you in the DXY like the volume. I really like this volume. And that's called a fixed range volume profile. What I like is like nobody it's not like created by like some guy who wrote a script. It's just it's part of TradingView
Yeah.
and that's my main tool. I used to not use them at all, but I just learned that last year.
Mhm.
But I also watch these tech charts. I have like the top 6 and I ask myself the same question like is value moving higher or lower? For the
Okay.
most part it's sideways lower. Just
And
waiting for that to change.
are you
Yeah.
trading like the value of these on MetaTrader or with like or a forex broker, or are you buying like actual stocks of it?
Oh yeah, I just do the FTM. I just use it with FTMO basically.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay, okay.
I did trade stocks, but to be completely honest, like I just don't have the capital really. That's what I like
Yeah,
about these prop firms.
yeah,
Yeah.
understandable. Yeah. Have you heard of my forex funds?
I have, yeah, and
Yeah,
I'm glad
yeah.
I didn't use it. But
Because
yeah.
so I mean it's this is crazy because I mean I've only ever used FTMO, but from
Mm,
what I've heard from other YouTubers, I heard my forex funds had like a really good rep.
mm,
So it is a little bit interesting just to hear something like that. I, I've never had any issues with FTMO. I
yeah.
mean, I hope that doesn't happen, but prop. I'm not an advocate for prop firms. I'm not saying it's a
Yep.
bad thing, but you always got you have to be careful, right, with anything you
Exactly.
do. So
Anything online, I learned from my manager when he first told me about like Bitcoin back then. He's just like any
mhm,
money you put into it, assume it's gone. Like anything can
yeah,
happen. Yeah.
yeah,
If it's
and
not,
and
I
don't
hate yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, and don't be ready. Don't spend on what you're not ready to lose. Also, so that's also a thing, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen and I'm just going
Awesome.
to
Yeah.
go ahead and talk about the trades that I'm in for my FTMO account. I think the last video I made was on either Sunday or Monday. I don't really remember, but as always, I just start off by looking at the DXY, and we see that the DXY is just on a real bullish momentum path. So for me, I personally feel like the next level of resistance, like we could say that this level right here most definitely could be a level of resistance, but I'm more so looking at this level right here, this 109 level, and I'm looking, I don't know, potentially all the way back up here, but we just have to see what price action does. But for the moment, nothing is telling me that I need to, be on the downside of this pair. So anytime the DXY dips, I'm just looking to, buy or sell in its respected market. So something like gold, for example, DXY strength, I was looking for gold sales. And we saw that if we go to the 4 hour here, we saw that price after a strong sell-off, we had a pretty big retracement back to this level of resistance that price had bounced off once, twice, three times, and then a fourth time overall. So I wasn't able to catch it up here, but we saw that price had a strong downtrend, and I think this was the release of news, and we saw that we had a pullback to this level. That was one support. We saw price reject this level a lot, so I was able to get in here. I was able to get in from this region, and I've just been trading it all the way down today we see that it has broken support, and I took some profit right around here, and I took some more profit right around here. I'm still in this trade, just trying to see how far it could run until higher highs start to get formed. But for the moment on gold, I don't really have a target profit no more, right? I would love for it to come all the way down here, right? But is that gonna happen? I'm not sure, but to me at the moment, the next obvious level of support for gold is all the way down here. But, you know, is that going to happen? I don't know. But I'm trailing my stops. I currently have my stop loss on this trade somewhere in this region right here, about 1900. So I've secured profit. Stop loss is moved. It's a risk free trade, and whatever happens, happens. So another trade I am in is AUD USD. Just trying to continue to ride it out and just trying to see what can happen. It's not moving as well as some of the other pairs are, just because. Well, truth be told, I don't know, just because. But we see that we had this one break of support here, but we still have not got the break of this support all the way down here, and it seems like price is heading here at the moment. So just want to see if price can break this level, or are we going to get a bounce back like how we did over here? And I'm not looking to continue to add short positions on AUD USD until we can see a clean break of this level. And if I can get some retest, I'll be looking to potentially continue to short AUD USD. But for the moment, I have my stop loss move to break even. I really haven't taken too much profit. I mean, I haven't taken any profit on this trade. I'm up maybe about 70 pips. I can't lose, but I haven't secured profit just because I want to see this level get broken. And after I see if this level can get broken, then I'll maybe move my stop loss to this area right here, 1.638. So that's how I feel about AUD USD. Another trade that I am in and still holding is AUD USD. I mean Euro USD. Apologies. All last week we saw that price was just kind of ranging in this back and forth area. So this level up here became resistance. So once price just started to wick around this area, I took a short, and I was just looking for the break of this level here, right? We got the break of this level. We got a clean retest, not perfectly all the way back up here, but we did get the retest right, and then we saw price continue to just trend down. So AUD, I mean Euro USD, apologies, looks bearish for the moment. I mean, you could say it's oversold, but I'm not here to say things of that nature. we see that it's kind of closing below this support level here. So we have 4 hours and 39 minutes before the daily candle closes. So if we can get a clean enough break, to me, this just looks like it'll continue to trend down for the foreseeable future. But we just have to wait and see. I've moved my stop loss and I've taken some profit on this trade. My stop loss is somewhere around here. So whatever happens, actually, I believe it's like somewhere around here. So whatever happens on this trade happens. I can't really lose on it anymore. So USD CAD, oh wow. So I'm not in this trade, but what I was looking for on USD CAD was the break above this level because overall USD CAD is in a bearish structure because we had the break of this level here, right? Which, clean break of what was one support. But if we go to like the daily or the weekly chart, we see that price has been bouncing bullish for the last however many weeks this are, right? But we still have this, kind of overall downtrending move that it's been in. So I'm not too bearish. I'm not too bullish on the dollar at the moment, but what I am looking for is, and you see on the 1 hour we did have the break, but not a clean enough break for me on USD CAD. So for USD CAD, what I'm looking for is, a clean enough break on this level right here. And if we can get a retest, then I'm looking to trade USD CAD back up to these highs. And if that doesn't happen and we continue to just trend back down, I'd be looking for a break of this level here, and I'd be looking to just trade it to this next level of resistance that's all the way down here. GBP USD, GBP USD is just still just trending down. Uh, doesn't seem like we're pulling back up to this level anytime soon. So there's really just no trade for me at the moment, just because not big enough retracements. So I just have to live with not being in this trade. USD JPY kind of like the same thing. We just need big enough pullbacks for me to enter. It seems like all signs point to heading back up to this level. So I'm personally not trying to sell it, but if a retracement could happen one more time, I would be looking to go long, right? Euro AUD, not too much happening on this pair. If we go on the 4 hour, we see that this support level has bounced one, two, three, four times now, right? So we haven't really got a direction in either way. Price hasn't broken below here and price hasn't broken above here. So really no trade for me, just kind of in a range. And I find myself, well, last week and the week before, I found myself getting caught up in a range, and that's why I was going from probably like up 1 2% back to break even because price wasn't trending, and like I wanted it to trend by placing these trades, but I don't decide when price trends, so I just have to leave it alone for the moment until price breaks either way. GBP JPY, it broke this support level down here, never just got the retest perfectly back up here. It kind of came, but I wasn't here when this happened. And then we had the trend line break again, and it seems like price is kind of doing another retest. Uh, but it says our Zoom meeting will end in 2 minutes. I mean, 10 minutes. I didn't know we've been going for that long. Huh.
I didn't know there's like a max time, but that's
Yeah, I
cool.
think it's
10
like
minutes, not
four.
bad.
Yeah, it's not bad, but uh, for me, GBP JPY looks like it's heading to this next level of support, which is down here. I was looking for the sell after it broke that, but I'm not overall bearish on this chart just because this thing is still super bullish from a technical analysis standpoint. From a fundamental standpoint, I'm not really too sure. I'm not really just sure what's going on in both of these economies. But from a technical standpoint, it would be hard to say this chart is just overall bearish. But for the specific moment, it most definitely is bearish. And I was just looking for it to get down to this next level of support down here, but I wasn't able to get it. So it's kind of like in this gray area of it breaking this support level. I mean resistance, sorry, and kind of just like being in the support area, right? It's literally like halfway in between. So not really any trade for me on GBP JPY at the moment either. Uh, just another chart that I would have to leave alone. But I like having charts that I watch but don't trade because I feel like it keeps my what's the word I'm trying to say? I feel like it keeps me neutral overall on the
Mm.
trades that I am in, like by watching something that I'm not in. So even though I'm not trading it, it's still like nice to watch it and things. So yeah, if you go to my FTMO account, man, doing doing pretty well right now, right? Not uh I don't really get like too excited on things like this anymore just because like it's like I don't know. I feel like I'm Kobe in the fourth quarter, right? You know, the job's not finished, right? The job's not done
Yeah.
till it's done. But uh, up 6.27% with
Yeah.
equity. Um, on on my balance, I'm up about like 2 point something percent. That's with closed trades. But I still have these trades running, just trying to see how much I can capitalize on these trades. So right, almost there. The job's not finished. So, you know, like yeah, pat on the back, whatever, but job's not done. Job's not done. So that's how it's going. Gonna hand it over back to Kailash. I don't see you anymore, bro.
Oh,
How do I
really?
get you
Okay.
back on the screen?
Oh, yeah. For some reason, I was like, I stopped the sharing screen, but
No problem, no problem, bro, no problem. Do you have
I wonder if I
anything
can get
else
it back
that
though. I forget.
uh I guess if you just go on new share, just go back and maybe just share your screen, maybe not even your face. If
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I
but
see. I see.
okay, I see it as well. Okay. Do you see me?
Okay. Can you see me? My
Yeah,
thing?
yeah, I see
Okay,
your
I see.
face. I don't
Okay.
see your screen yet though. But you can hit the share screen button if there's
Maybe now.
anything that you would like to say or maybe go over.
Oh yeah, but I like how
What's
you here, I got my screen. Maybe you can see it. Yeah, I like how you have the trade set up where you're just kind of like lowering your stop loss, right? As you're in
Mhm.
profit. That's really good. I see like some markets, like you pointed out, like some markets they're very clearly trending, some are just, going sideways, balancing.
Yeah,
And I've noticed mainly it's a dollar thing, right? Like the ones that are trending the most, they're like directly against the dollar, right?
yeah,
And I think that's really good. Yeah. These
yeah,
markets, they're
man.
still making new lows. They're still going lower. The VIX 10-year yield dollar is still going higher.
Yep, yep. So,
Mm.
let me let me go to Forex Factor real quick. Let's see if
Mm.
we have any news. So nothing like crazy today. We had like these orange boulders that are positive, and I don't really pay attention to things like this, but if you are a fundamental trader, seeing things like this and then seeing the way the dollar pushed up today, you know, uh, fundamentally still bullish, technically still bullish. So, you know, uh, all signs really just pointing towards like nothing's changing. But tomorrow we see that we have unemployment claims and final
Okay.
GDP, right? And Fed Chair Powell, Mr. Jerome Powell speaks.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest unemployment. I mean, I said unemployment. I'm not the biggest fundamental guy, but I just like to be aware of these things. Regardless if I was a forex trader or not, I feel like this is just good knowledge to have, right? So it's not really about being like trading, but just good knowledge overall to have, whether you only do technical analysis or if you mix it with fundamentals. So gonna be tightening up my stops as the night goes on and as tomorrow morning goes on, just in case this news sways it the other way. We see the forecast is better than expected, but not gonna make decisions based on that. But you know, fundamentally the dollar's just bullish, right? So just gonna be trading with the trend still. But man, Kailash, I appreciate you, my brother, for real, man.
Definitely. Yeah, it's my first time.
My first trading homie, man, for real, man. So
Same. Yeah, 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 yeah.
most definitely not the last time we're doing this, bro. Most definitely not. We can
Yeah,
most
yeah.
definitely like figure out some type of schedule. To anybody who watches my videos, most definitely will be seeing this man more often now. So, man, Kailash, I appreciate you, man. I'll most definitely be updating you on text. We'll most definitely be doing this again. But
Definitely.
thank you, man. Thank you so much, bro.
Yeah, yeah, no problem. Hope to get my my account up a little bit so I can share it.
Nah, man,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
will, man. Most definitely
definitely.
you will. Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Thank you though, man. I'll talk to you soon though, okay?
definitely, definitely.
All right, guys. And to everybody watching, man, I appreciate you, man. Please continue to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like. As always, thank you very much. Thank y'all. Thank God. Have a great day. All right, Kailash.
All right. I'm gonna have to figure this out. The Zoom thing.
All right.